Hello there, BookTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. Beep. I've got no rhythm. I've done a fair bit of reading recently, not a bit slower than normal. I've got a couple of books that I want to talk about, but some of them were a bit disappointing. So I think I'll just do like a review of one or two of the books at a time, and that way I can try and catch up with some of, put out some new videos and catch up. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Olga Dies Dreaming, and in preparation for this video, I have now learnt to pronounce this author's name as Xochitl Gonzalez. And yeah, I really did not enjoy this. Well, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was shit. I'm sorry to be blunt about it. It was just everything I've come to detest about modern literary fiction that has been workshopped within an inch of its life. The author is a graduate of the Iowa MFA program and coming relatively late to novel writing, I believe. Having worked and had a very full and fulfilling life, but had this novel inside and surrounded by other people who feel the same way, has been encouraged to lean on the most obvious tropes, whether they are about her ethnicity, about her family, and then within those the basest, most trivial elements. So we have a protagonist who has, frankly, a frivolous job, and we're constantly sort of meant to see that as a metaphor. She's a wedding planner, and we're constantly meant to see that as a metaphor for knowing all things about all things. It's a real shoehorning in of meaning to something that is just a job and happens to be a job that maybe the author once had, but our protagonist lives this world and understands it, and the duality of serving both her suppliers and then also her clients. Just super weak. She has a brother who is an elected politician of some kind, congressman or whatever. I don't know how, whatever it is in New York, and representative of their Puerto Rican background. So part of his success has been based on his ethnicity, and he's leveraged that to great effect by being embedded within the community that he loves and knows. But I only call this a cliche because I've seen it in a number of similar narratives with authors from similar backgrounds, that he's a closeted gay man, and I just think in 2023, I get that in different communities that may still be a powerful storytelling mechanism, but I think outside of those communities it's a very tired and dated thing, that his whole world may crumble if anyone were ever to find out that he really. I found that terribly yawnsome. This is just breezy romantic comedy nonsense going on, where Olga, as I say, our protagonist, is gets involved in this relationship, and she's sleeping with one older guy because he's rich, and she just uses him, and he was the father of one of the brides whose wedding she managed, and that relationship is sort of fizzled out, not really giving her anything, and then she stumbles into a relationship with another guy who immediately she feels connection with, and it's deeper and it's more meaningful, and so she breaks it off with, or it's in the process of being broken off with the older guy, who is conveniently named Dick, and so at times it gets a bit vulgar, and then it's sort of soppy and romantic, and there's no real balance between those two. And then there are these horrific real life events used as plot points. So Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico is there as a plot point to drive our narrative forwards, to drive Olga's brother to a realization about his life, to drive Olga to a realization about her relationships, both of them about their relationship with their mother, who's been absent all their lives. There is, and I don't want to do too many spoilers, but there is a quite unpleasant rape scene towards the end from the point of view of the rapist. where rape is again used as a plot point. It's just it isn't a thing. It's just to get one of our characters from one point in the story to another. Really unpleasant. So it's not just that I didn't enjoy this. There's plenty of books I haven't enjoyed, but I actually found this sort of quite nasty and unpleasant. And I know it was a Book of the Month Club about a year ago, and people have read it and found it sort of breezy. This was everything that I dislike about books that are published for the sake of someone's ethnicity, for the sake of having a sort of colourful background behind it, because we don't want anyone. This is not me doing Dilbert saying, we must have more books by white people. That's not the point. I'm saying this is a cheaper, poorly put together version of what we want, which is diverse authors telling diverse stories. This was for the sake of it, without any real depth. Olga Dies Dreaming, Xochitl Gonzalez. I'm sorry to do such a bad and negative review of anything, but I thought this was a terrible, terrible book. And that's all I've got for you today. Bye.